So I think one of my reasons for creating this yoga audio podcast is because it's easy to do yoga when it's easy. It is actually not so easy to do yoga or self-care practices when we are scared, when we are uncertain, when we are in distress or stress or trauma, when our world kind of just comes apart. So I know what that feels like for me, and that's why I invite you to join me. And I thought we could just team up together and stretch out and breathe and move and see if we might shift from stress to self-care in this coronavirus. So come right now, starting out into child's pose. And in child's pose, open your knees out really wide and bring your toes to touch behind you. And then just lay your forehead down, lay your arms down on the mat. If you like, you could stack your forearms on top of one another and just rest a cheek to one side. Close your eyes and find your exhale. If you are coming to the mat and you've been feeling very anxious or very raw or just really maxed out, taking care of kids at home or working from home and all of that, perhaps it's an even better idea to just bring your knees and thighs to touch and just rest your chest right on top of your thighs and put your forehead down and your arms behind you on the ground. That's just a very simple variation of child's pose where you have an opportunity to just really create an inward space. This practice that I offer you is actually pretty late at night, but before I could go to sleep, I just felt like I needed to put something out there for someone like yourself. So we're going to focus more on a slow flow and an easy flow and not a very dynamic energy. We're going to keep this focus more inward, and that's why we're starting out in child's pose. Find a breath in. Open your mouth, let that out. Find another one. And send that one out. Let it all cycle out. Draw the breath in. Hold on to that one. And hold on to it as long as you can. And then just open your mouth and let it trickle through. When you're ready, stretch your arms out in front of you. Your hands will be shoulder width apart. You're going to press your palms right down into the floor. And you're going to pull yourself up onto your hands and knees. Right away, you're going to inhale and take your chest and tailbone toward the ceiling. So lift your head up and look up. And as you breathe out, go inward, chin into chest, belly, pull it into spine, tailbone toward feet. Take a breath in, drop your belly, look up. Tailbone pulls up, chin pulls up, chest pulls up. Empty the breath, chin to chest, belly to spine, tailbone toward feet. Inhale once more, inhaling chest up, lift your gaze, but then pull your shoulders down. This time as you exhale, curl your toes under, press your way straight back into your downward dog. And then just start walking it out right off the top. You're going to anchor down through your palms and your fingers. Make sure your fingers and palms are spread out nice and wide. You're going to let your head fall completely between your upper arms, and your gaze is going to be between your feet. Inhaling, pull your heels high. Exhale to the floor. You're not looking to get your heels directly on the floor. That may never happen. You are looking, however, to get the heels toward the floor. And as you do that, keep a mindset that your calves and your Achilles heels are stretching again toward the floor. Now here's the thing. In your downward dog, We focus mostly on upper body. I want you to make sure you shift your weight back into your legs and feet. So you pull your hips back and up. And your hamstrings, I'm guessing, are probably pretty tight. And just like my own. So bend your knees and tilt your tailbone toward the ceiling. But keep shifting the weight back into the legs. Now, as you shift the weight back into the legs, squeeze the fronts of your thighs. Squeeze them. And I'll tell you why. Because in a fearful moment, our hamstrings feel the brunt of that energy and that emotion of fear. So, especially in parts of our lives that are the foundation of our life. And if that feels a little unsteady or a little uncertain, then that creates more of that. So what I want you to do is squeeze the fronts of your thighs to actually add support to your hamstrings. The quads are always the workhorses in both legs. The quads are the front of the thighs, always pulling you forward, along with the hip flexors. And yet, usually the strong parts never really get, they're just relied on so much. And then the hamstrings really don't have to do a whole lot. So a lot of us don't just have tight hamstrings, our hamstring muscles are weakened. Squeeze the fronts of your thighs so your hamstrings actually feel some support. Bring your feet together, bring your legs together. You're going to pin the two legs like they're one. You're going to inhale the right leg all the way up in the air. If this is too much, you could always bring your left knee down on the ground. Otherwise, bend your right knee, flexing your right foot. Your knee and your hip want to be in alignment. So pull the knee up in alignment with your right hip and then roll it open. So it's like two just are one, and then it's much easier, it's much smoother. Roll that down. Inhale, left leg goes up. Exhale, bend your left knee. Keep the knee in alignment with your left hip. You always have the option of taking your right knee to the floor. Roll open just to stretch out that hip flexor. And the psoas. And the psoas hold a lot of fear, just like the hamstrings. So we're just going to open that area up, kind of let some light in. So our body says, oh, I'm stiff here, I'm tight here, I'm scared here. And it's a vulnerable thing to go into those spaces and open them up. So exhale instead of holding your breath. Roll that hip down, walk both feet right to the front edge of your mat. Go right into a ragdoll, split your feet hip width apart. Super bend your knees. Opposite hand to opposite elbow, cradles. Let your whole upper body just drop forward, like give something up. Like there's all kinds of ways that we put on airs, and there's all kinds of ways that we wear armor, especially at this time. And this practice is saying you're safe on your mat at least to take off some of that edge and some of that armor so that you can breathe easier inside yourself. Fold forward. Let your hips sway side to side. You're going to hang out in this hamstring stretch. And when you're doing that, the inward fold is going to actually recalibrate the nervous system. This practice is an opportunity for you to not just stretch, not just strengthen, not just increase your flexibility, but to actually have a real tool to really keep your nervous system at a more even keel. If we don't have that, if the brain doesn't have or hear that message, like I am safe, I am secure, I can trust, then we just won't. So, in the opportunity for you to take a forward bend, you are telling your nervous system, I'm okay, I am safe, I am secure. A racing mind cannot really help you out with that. Breathe in. Dump that out. Bend your knees, bring your hands to your hips. Plant your feet right into the ground, stand up. Pull the belly in, tilt your tailbone toward the floor. Inhale, reach your arms all the way up. And exhale, place your palms right there at your low back. Squeeze your elbows toward each other. And as soon as you squeeze the elbows toward each other, the shoulder blades hug the mid-back. The chest will just crack open. Squeeze up your thighs. Squeeze up your legs, because your legs are the pillar underneath your spine. If the spine does not feel the stability, therefore safety and security of the legs, the spine says, I don't know if I can trust a back bend here. So you guide that by first planting your foundation of alignment, being with yourself, tuning in, and listening to your breath. Go ahead, bring your hands to your heart. Close your eyes. Take in a breath. Breathe it out. I don't personally know what you need at this time, but I know we need something. We need some reassurance. We need some hope. We need a soothing voice. We need that most loving inner mother or father to ourselves. The news reports can't always give you that sense. So you're going to breathe and move nice and slow. And you're going to give that nurturing inner parenting to yourself to create a sense of inward safety and security, regardless of the outside. And every breath, every movement's devoted to that. On an inhale, long reach up, see your gaze to the ceiling. On the exhale, deep bend in the knees, fold forward. On the inhale, lift up halfway. Pull your shoulders away from your ears, bend your knees, push your hips back. Exhale, bring your palms to the floor. Bring your knees to the ground. I would make sure your knees are a little back so they're not hiked right up under your torso, but a little bit back. Cross your ankles and take a high to low push-up with your knees on the ground. Nice and easy. On an inhale in high push-up, shoulders over the wrists, belly in. On the out breath, rock forward on your knees. Bend your elbows right back behind you and lower halfway. On an inhale, press into half cobra or up dog. As you inhale, you come into that pose or that variation. If it's up dog, pull your shoulders back and try to feel like your hips are being pulled to the front of the room while your mat's being pulled out from underneath you. It's a tiny, tiny movement. It's your first opportunity for a real back bend, but we're taking it easy. On an out breath, shift all the weight back into your legs, into your hips, chest to thighs, head dropping. Empty it out. Take a breath in. Clear out that breath. Hug in your belly. Make sure all the air is out. And then walk up nice and easy. Feet to your hands. Halfway up, full breath. Fold all the way in. Pull your belly right against your spine. Squeeze the air all out. Inhale all the way up to stand. Exhale, pull your palms right to your heart. Inhale, reach up. Big exhale, all the air's got to come out. Squeeze it out. You can't squeeze the Charmin more than likely because there isn't enough on the shelves in supermarkets right now, but squeeze the air out like you would be squeezing Charmin. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, step back. Take high to low push-up. Unless you're dying to do one for straight legs and you're super proud of your chaturanga, do it. Otherwise, on the knees, please. And exhale, lower halfway, low push-up. Elbows wrap right into the sides of your body. It's okay to leave a little space though. Inhale all the way up into up dog or halfway up into half cobra. Take it easy. Full breath out, down facing. Take a breath where you are. Take a breath out where you are. Take a breath in where you are. Clear that out where you are. One more. Can you take one more in? Pull the air into your lungs. It does require some effort, but we have a COVID virus, which is a lung. It's the cause and effect of that hitting the lungs. So deeper breathing is only going to help that. Okay, you pulling more oxygen in and strengthening your lungs. In addition, the deeper breaths you take are going to be the secret sauce to what's going to make you feel more internally safe, secure, and centered. Walk, feet to your hands. Find a flat back. Take all the air in you can, lengthening your spine. Fold all the way down, chin into chest, heart into your thighs. Bend the knees a lot and wrap your arms right around the backs of your calves. Inhale, keep your arms wrapped around your calves and pull your chest and spine out halfway. Exhale, step back, high push up on the knees, belly in, tailbone toward feet. Rock forward, rock your body weight forward on your knees. That'll pull your chest through your arms. So all the hydraulics are set right up to go right into low push up. Scoop right up into upward dog or half cobra. Create your flow. Exhale, pull the hips straight back, down dog. Take a breath in, pull the heels up. Exhale, with the right knee bent, left heel toward the floor. Inhale, both heels up. Exhale, left knee bent, right heel presses down. Breathe in. Open your mouth, let out a sigh. One of the reasons I love this practice, please walk, feet to your hands, is because you start on your mat and your hips are tight, your back is sore, your hamstrings ache, you're shaking a little in your first high to low push-up. And usually you walk on the mat and you're full of some kind of internal something or other. Could be a Metallica concert in your head, halfway lift. Forward fold. Bend your knees. Sink your hips down and back. Chair pose. Stretch your arms all the way up. Exhale, forward fold. And you clear that exhale out. And you can show up gunked up in mind, coagulated in your emotional heart, and therefore as a result physically just stiff and held tight in your body. Halfway up, breathe in, step back, high to low push up facing or half cobra, shoulders back, down facing dog. Step forward, warrior one, right foot. Ground your back foot down. Now bring your hands to your heart. Press your right knee open. And open wide into warrior two as you breathe out again. You start out on your mat. And you don't usually start out super strong on the inside. You start out stiff. You start out feeling a little muddled or mucked up in your mind, just sort of stuck. Reverse your warrior. Right arm's going to reach all the way up. You're going to look to your upper hand. You're going to bend your front knee forward a little more, hips sink a little deeper. And you're going to go right into extended side angle. right arm to your front leg. And you can show up confused inside yourself. Stretch your left arm right over your ear. Take your left arm, wrap it around your back. Release to the floor. High push-up on the knees. Low push-up, out breath. And by the time you get some air, get some movement, you don't just feel stronger, flexible, halfway up into half cobra or up dog, down facing, out breath. You start to realize that you're not confused at all. There are things that you're uncertain about, you're confused about, and then suddenly there's clarity, and it does seep in at some point in your practice. Left foot stepping forward, warrior one. Press that front knee open, pull the hands to the heart, take a breath in. Warrior two. Reverse your warrior, left arm going up. Exhale, extended side, left forearm right on your left thigh. Pull your chest up, pull your bottom lung up, right arm up, and then reach it to the front of the room. As you exhale, wrap it around your back. Release, hands to the ground, high to low push-up on the knees. Inhaling, up facing our half cobra. Out with the breath, down facing dog. Take a long breath in and a gentle one out. And the reason that you're not confused by the time you get off the mat, or you're a little more certain, you're certain to something that was once mucked up or confusing or just cloudy, or like somebody's pulling the wool over your eyes, and somehow you don't know how you know, but you know. And there's something in an internal alarm. And so as you get on your mat, trust that you're going to get clearer, not just stronger, not just more flexible. And that you are too smart. And that you have your skill set of senses. We strengthen that as much as we strengthen your legs, your shoulders, your core. Walk up, feet to your hands. Inhale, take the arms all the way up. Exhale, take your right arm underneath your left and your right leg over your left. Eagle pose. Balancing. You're practicing on your mat right now to give your life more balance. You're practicing on your mat so you can give yourself attention that you will give your family after this practice. Squeeze your thighs together and keep your shoulders stacked right over your hips. Empty the breath, bend your bottom knee. In with the breath, sweep up. Empty the breath, left arm under, left leg on top. Shoulders over the hips. Press your elbows away from your face. Your gaze is on one thing. You're just landing your eyes, sort of like a laser, like a red beam of light. Land your eyes like a beam of light. Sweep up. Exhale, hands to heart. Tree pose. Right foot in. Bottom foot flat. Bottom leg, squeeze it. Press your shoulders back. Eyes eye level. Your gaze is straight ahead and you come into your breathing. At a certain level, all of us are feeling the stress. We're feeling it on the outside. We're feeling it inside ourselves. We go to the grocery store. We get awake. Like, wow, there's a scarcity level here. You can only get a limited amount of eggs. Bring your foot down, switch sides. There usually isn't toilet paper on the shelves or Clorox wipes at this time or 7th generation products. It's a scarcity mindset. And immediately that halts our breath. And it throws everything out of whack. And it throws off our balance mentally and emotionally. Press your arms straight up to the sky. You can turn your hands to face the ceiling. Drive your bottom leg straight through the floor. Release it to the ground. Take your arms to your sides. Take a breath in, sweep up. Take a breath out, hands to your heart. Airplane pose. Inhale, take your arms straight up, palms face one another, fingers spread. Squeeze your triceps. Bend your right knee, straighten your right leg out in front of you. Pull the toes back towards you. And when you breathe out, you're just going to swing that right leg back. You're going to squeeze your arms alongside your hips. You're going to lengthen your toes behind you. It's like your leg is pulling out. You're going to bring your chest a little higher than hip level. And your gaze is out in front of you, not straight down. Bring your hands to your heart. Bring your fingertips to the floor, shoulder width apart. You want your shoulders right over your wrists and your right leg to the ceiling. And exhale it to the floor. Shift back, high push-up on the knees. Low push-up. Up facing. Down facing. Taking a breath. Clear it all out. Walk up, feet to your hands. Airplane pose. Bend your left knee, squeeze your right leg. Sweep your arms up as you take a full inhale. And as you fully exhale, send your leg back, your arms back, chin into your chest, and look right out in front of you. Shoulder blades can hug into each other. And you're not just hugging one shoulder blade into the middle back, you're hugging both. Not just to keep physical balance, therefore stability, but it's the support. It's the support of one shoulder blade supporting the other. And you realize, wow, that's so much better, like stable. Bring your hands to your heart. Take in the air. Exhale your fingertips to the floor, shoulder width apart. Rock the body weight forward so your shoulders stay over the wrists, and left leg, launch it right on up. Bend your right knee as much as you need to, but launch that leg higher by pressing through the right foot. Bring that foot to the ground. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, fold forward. Grab your big toes with your peace fingers and your thumbs around them. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, fold in. To get clear, there's a phrase, there's a quote that I love, and it really hits home to me all the time. Like the more people try to trick me or pull the wool over my eyes, things like that, the more I start to get away from people, and there's some part of me that just quiets down. And I don't say a word, it's just internal. But it's an inner alarm. I realize it's my own wisdom trying to say, pay attention to this one. The muddy water, let stand, becomes clear. And so to do that, we have to be still. Release your toes. Bring your hands to the floor. Come back. On the knees. High push-up. Low. Up facing. Down dog. Please come from downward dog. Please take a seat. Literally sit on your seat and stretch your legs out in front of you. You're going to lay back. You're going to take your arms right over your head on the floor. And as you breathe out, please bend your right knee, hug it to your chest. As you breathe in, pull the knee away from you. As you breathe out, hug it in. Take a breath in. Right knee twists over to the left, chin to the right. Eyes closed. We're in a practice of being still. We're in a practice of being home. We're in a practice of tuning in. And we're in a yoga practice right now to try to find a bigger breath that has more calm, more fluidity, more flow, which will make the nervous system dial down. Switch sides. On the out breath, bend your left knee, hug it to your chest. Bring it over to the right. Look to the left shoulder. Arm out to the side, palm up. Left arm up. Go left palm up. Your eyes closed. Breathe where you are, and every time you exhale, gently twist just a little more away from your knee. We can show up on the mat and feel a little dialed in to our distress. We can show up on the mat and feel like, wow, I don't feel safe and secure. It could be you're afraid to lose your job. It could be, do I have enough money for my family? It could be, wow, I'm actually forced to slow down and I'm seeing things I might not have noticed if I had kept up my usual pace and my usual out and about. For whatever reason, aside from globally what's happening, we're being asked to close up shops and be home. Hug both knees into your chest, please. On the out breath, squeeze in. Rock side to side. We're being asked to close up shop and go inside instead. Rock all the way up to flat feet. And then you're just going to simply curl your left leg underneath. You're going to bend your right knee. You're going to bring your right foot flat on the mat in front of you. And you're going to take a gentle seated twist. So your left elbow, your left forearm's coming across your right leg. You press your hips into the ground. You sit up nice and tall as you take an breath in, a breath of fresh air, and you breathe out, twist. Pull in the belly when you twist. Breathe the air out when you twist. Other side. Curl the right leg under, left foot flat. Sit up tall, gentle twist. We aren't just being called to stay home, stay out of places, stop eating out. We're called to simplify. We're called to pare down the excess. We're called to come back home. We run so busy. We run ragged as a society. And our system cannot keep up. And I don't think our system on the planet can keep up. And I don't think it wants to. I think it's saying this pace you guys are all creating and calling it productive, it's a little bit too much. The way of output, and not putting self-care back as a vital tool for healthcare. It's not working. Come on back to center. You're going to take your knees and let them butterfly open and bring the soles of your feet together. Maybe it's scarcity mode when we go into the grocery store and we realize they don't have, and we don't have personal access to the things we just are so used to. Or maybe it's just called a new order of balance, of taking just what you need, making sure other people have some. You're going to sit up nice and tall, and when you breathe out, you're going to fold forward, and you're going to press your hips back as though they're against the back wall. Inhale halfway up, pull the spine out, pull the chest out, fold as you breathe out softly. So whether we realize it or not, it's one thing to turn on the news and hear all about a virus that can affect us all, a pandemic. We hear words like lockdown. How are we going to feel any peace of mind from a lockdown? How do we feel peace of mind when we see a flyer that says take 2 only in the supermarkets? It puts us into a contracted state. But we are being called upon to go into a contracted state. Inhale and exhale as I speak, to get clearer, to get healthier, to settle ourselves, and to wait it out. Inhale, sit up tall. Stretch your legs out in front of you. Take your right palm to the floor alongside your right hip. You can bend your right elbow towards your body a bit. Inhale, left arm's going all the way up. Exhale as you lean to the right. Inhale, and as you exhale, place your left palm down alongside your left hip, elbow in. Right arm on a breath in goes all the way up. On a breath out, leans. Maybe there's an opportunity here for those of you who struggle financially in your work. The work's not possible because of the job you have. It's just to trust. I'm one of these people as well, so don't get it twisted, okay? I'm out here with you. I'm not talking from a place that I can't relate to you. I only relate to you. Let your out breath just drop you more into that lean. Inhale, both arms up, both legs out in front of you. Pull the toes towards your face. Push out through the ball and heels of both feet. Press your hips into the ground. Press your thighs into the floor, but it is okay to bend your knees. Exhale everything and fold forward. Don't worry about grabbing your toes. Just grab onto your shins or your ankles. And so maybe you have an opportunity to be given a break financially, a little bit of a break. Like, I only have this amount of money and I can't lose my home. I only have these few days I can work because I am home with my children and I still cannot lose my home. And somehow maybe we're just being given, an opportunity here. The gift of time, the gift of effort, the gift of money being allowed to be put on hold. Keep breathing as you fold in. I hope this practice gives you an opportunity to go inward, to get quieter, to get clearer, to stretch, to breathe, to move, to increase flexibility, to strengthen, but to provide you a little lean-to through Refuge Yoga, through my teaching, through my support, and through my voice, and whatever else flows out of my mouth besides alignment and instruction of a pose, to feel somehow a little more safe and secure in your corner of the world. Inhale all the way up. Exhale very slowly, make your way back into Shavasana. If you would like to take waterfall pose first, legs up in the air, you can do that. Or you can go right into a shavasana. Through this practice, let it be a real reminder that yoga and self-care and peace of mind and rest, slowing down, actually is how our bodies can heal or stay healthy, prevent illness, etc. You can stay in waterfall pose, or you can keep yourself right in shavasana as long as you have the time to do so. Through this practice, remind yourself, love trumps illness. Caring and nurturing of the self and each other and your family in a greater way, in a way that maybe you don't normally have time for, and suddenly you have time. But these are the preventative measures we can do to keep ourselves healthy. And yoga literally will strengthen your actual immune system. Now, if your immune system is weakened because of stress, you're more likely to be susceptible. Am I saying you're going to get the virus? No, I'm not. I'm saying the reality is that stress puts distress on our body. If our bodies are in stress and we're in a crisis response in the fight or flight, running around ragged, being afraid, really having anxiety, uncertainty, or just anxiety, period, it creates a strain. If the mind is not at peace, the body won't feel it can relax. So we use this practice to breathe and to move and to settle not just the body but the mind, to strengthen not just the immune system but the internal realm of thinking, because how you're thinking leads to how you're feeling. And if your thoughts are stressful, then you're feeling emotionally under stress, and that's felt in the body. Take a long breath in, let go of it. So practice, even if you only have 10 minutes, even if your kids are climbing all over you, even if you're, gonna just get a few salutations in before your family is saying, Mom, Dad, whoever you are, practice. Put not just your yoga as a core strengthener, but a core, make that the core piece of you staying healthy. Maybe we're being given an opportunity to walk in nature, get fresh air, take care of ourselves differently as a new order. And respect yourself immensely, because if you cannot do that, you won't really truly respect others. Use your practice to think, how would I feel if somebody did this to me? How would I feel if someone said that to me? How would I feel if somebody was behaving that way behind my back? Like, oh, maybe I wouldn't like that. Maybe I should kind of rethink some things, before it's too late. We're all only here for a certain amount of time. Maybe we just use our practice to still not just stay healthier, but to be a little better than we were yesterday. Enjoy your shavasana, you've earned it. Email, say hi, say what helped you in this practice. Stay in touch. Namaste.